What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers who have come by to my channel. It is truly, truly appreciated, right? Today's a sad day. Even though there is still basketball going on, the Knicks, it's the end of the Knicks season. Today was the last game of the year. But they came off with a great victory today by beating the playoff team, the number 4 seed in the East, to Toronto Raptors, 105-94. Listen, great victory. I'm happy the way they played. Of course, people are going to say, Toronto was shorthanded. They didn't really have anybody. But to me, those are all NBA players. It does not matter, right? You got to come out. You got to play your best. You got to have your A game, right? And that's what Obi Toppin did. He had his A game. 40-piece tonight. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then IQ added on with a triple-double himself. 30-plus points. 12 assists, 10 boards. The young guns, man, are the future. Once again, right, I sound like a broken record. In all my videos, we've always said, let the young boys play. And, of course, I've stated, see, this is what happens when you let the guys play. So I'm going to say it again. This is what happens when you let the young guys play. One thing that Obi said the other night after he scored 30, I think it was 35, I believe it was, other night against the Wizards. He said, it feels good just playing, and pretty much not being able to look over my shoulder, man. I don't have to worry about anybody yanking me out for making a mistake. I could just play. And one of my old videos this year, I stated that. I mentioned that as a player, as an ex-player that I am. It's so much better to just play ball and not think about coming out because you made a mistake. You have to play through the mistakes. That's what's going to make you a better player. You're not overthinking things. You're just playing. You're just balling. You're just playing your game. And when you gave Obi the opportunity to do that, look at what he's done in these last 5 games, right? There's 2 games he had 20. 1 game he had 19. Other game he had 35. Tonight he had 40. Was 42 he had tonight? Let me just be clear. Let me just make sure I'm right. He had 42 tonight. Listen, man, I don't care who you're playing against. A 40-piece is a 40-piece, especially in the league. Period. End of story. I don't care if it's backups, whatever. It does not matter, right? What Obi has shown is that the management, front office, they got a lot of decisions to make. A lot. I think IQ has solidified himself. Like I've always said, he is the guard of the future. I do think that he does need another point guard next to him. I think he needs another year to develop those point guard skills, right? But as far as a scoring guard, I think that the Knicks have their guard for the future, right? So I do think there's another guard that has to play with him. That's going to help him with some of the ball handling, because sometimes IQ can just put his head down and just think about scoring. And sometimes you need a guy to set guys up. I think he's shown that, but I do think he still needs a little bit of development with that. But I love what IQ's doing. So I think he's locked in. But Obi, now with him and Randall and pretty much playing the same position, there's a decision that has to be made. There's only but so many minutes in a game, right? And with Obi playing like 15 minutes this year, 16, 17 minutes at times, listen, he needs more minutes. We've all been saying that. He needs more minutes, and he cannot be yanked after he makes mistakes. So they're going to have to make a decision with Randall. They are. And the reason why I say that with him, and it's not just because of, the off-the-court antics and, the on-the-court antics and, just his downward play. It's not just because of that. The way Obi has been playing these last, the Knicks are 12-7, so they're up, say, like the last 19 games, he's really opened the eyes of a lot of people, including myself. I knew he had the talent, but now he's shown he has a jump shot, right? He's hitting the threes. He's 12-23. His last couple of threes, 3-point shot percentages last couple of games. His ceiling is very, very high, especially with his athleticism. Like I said, I think Randall's tapped out. I think he's capped out I think the best that we saw Randall was last year. I thought that was the best he can be. He's an 8-year veteran. He's been in the league a long time. This is Obi's second year. And I think that he has a very, very high ceiling. And I think that what him and IQ have shown, because they were drafted together, guys, remember that. What him and IQ have shown is the potential that they have, and pretty much something for us to build on for the future. So believe it or not, we're looking around for pieces for RJ. I think they can be the pieces. Do you move them to get maybe a Donovan Mitchell or a Zion Williamson? I don't know. I don't know if you do that. Because these are homegrown guys. They drafted together. And I think it's time for the Knicks to start building and working on their draft picks. Because believe it or not, you may not know what you have. You might have a diamond in the rough with Obi. You never know what you have. So I think you give him another season, to see what he does, but also give him another season of legit minutes, 25-plus minutes, right? Or even 30-plus minutes. Let's see what he does. RJ has already solidified himself, right? He deserves that contract. This is a contract year for him. Like they said he's due for a contract year to where he can sign for 5 years, $148 million. I think he's due that. I think he deserves that. I think he's outplayed his rookie contract, and I think he showed this year who he can be, right? The Knicks can build around him. But once again, look at the minutes that he's gotten. RJ pretty much is able to play and not worry about the mistakes that he's made. My thing is that you give Obi a whole season of that, him and IQ. Let's see what they do. I think we're going to be very, very excited, as a franchise. And I think that, the Knicks, pretty much need to really, really let these guys rock. You know what I mean? They really need to do so and see exactly what they can be for a whole season with a lot of minutes, 25, 30-plus minutes a game, and see exactly what IQ and Obi can develop into. Of course, we can't forget about Grimes. Grimes is also another piece who I think really has a very high upside. He's also drafted by us. I also like Cam Reddish as well. I like him at the 3 also, at the 2 as well. Big, long, guard, about 6'8", athletic. We can't forget about him. So I like the pieces we have. I just think they have to be given a shot. And I think that hopefully TIBBS learned a lot from this season, because like I mentioned before, guys, I don't see TIBBS going anywhere. I just don't. I think they're going to wind up keeping him for another year and seeing exactly the direction he goes into. See what direction the team goes in, and then pretty much they'll make the decision. But if TIBBS changes his way of his philosophy, we all know he's stubborn. But these last couple of games, meaning these 19 games, Obi and IQ, with the way they've been playing, hopefully it makes him or forces him to play these guys. Hopefully management really talks to him about the importance of, what they want to see from Obi and IQ. Sorry to say, man, I think they have to move Julius. I just think they have to. Not just because he's a ball-dominant player, like I've stated before in regards to RJ, but just because his leadership. I don't like what he presented in the locker room with the team, with the players. I think he's a roller coaster. You never know what you're going to get with him emotionally. And so I think that with our young core that we have and the development that we're giving them, that we want to see them have with the development, the last thing you need is for a guy who's an 8-9 year vet coming in and just like a tornado. You know what I mean? You don't need that, right? For young guys like that, you're trying to develop. From Cam Reddish to even a guy like RJ also too, or Grimes, and of course IQ and Obi. That's not the way That's not the way you don't conduct yourself as a pro. You're gonna have ups and downs in this league, so you got to be able to deal with the highs and the lows and control your emotions. And Randall has shown that he cannot. So you don't want that guy as your leader. So that's why I think you have to move him strictly off of that. We'll see what it is. But listen, this is not the end. I'll be back, to talk about draft day. And, of course, anything else exciting about the Knicks to talk about, I will be back. But as of now, this is the end of the season. It was a tough season. But most likely I'll probably want to do a video and a recap of the season to really break down the highs and lows. But tonight and these last couple of games are definitely the highs. And watching the young boys really show that they belong in this league and they should be getting a whole bunch of minutes going into next year. All right. So listen, that's my show. I appreciate you guys watching me all season long, man. I truly appreciate it. All my new subscribers, I thank you. I thank you for coming by to my page, but this is just the beginning. It's not the end. All right. So please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. All right. Also, too, leave comments, man, so we can go back and forth in the debate. And as well, also, too, please hit that bell icon to get all notifications on all my new shows. All right. I'm LV Live, and I'm out. Peace.